I don't validate the genetic as identity, nor the concept of purity. The idea of purity is concept only, unless as is referred to in a liquid substance or something, as is compatible and relative. As an historical lineage, and an evolutionary one. Our time has arrived at in the intersections of where our collective involvements and knowledge come from in time. And the relativity of that which is considered by its lineage alone, a state of superiority, not valid. Genetic relativism, the convergence of traits, and compatibilities. More so. I believe in the complex and the qualitative. And I believe in truths and consciousness thus at the same time, put consciously. Eventually the trivial is so. During the half-decade, there was strong evidence to support the diverse informed and even malformed underpinning where our most conscious has to offer to trivialities otherwise. Why we have that to say to life at this time stemming from an attitude around several things I think. A scientific inquisitiveness may have encouraged the content and unmyopic. The quiet insight to things around us. But as it concerns us locally and at posture and both the validating and the patriotic. The concept of alpha race, a short-sighted perspective that I have heard in the past. The diverse and relativistic forms of life within the margins of species and race descend from convergence on the record in our children present. Diversity was the rule, and the intrinsic quality about all things. We don't do ourselves favors by being obtuse with the fact. The measure of us being more implicating. I don't have weakness and strength described narrowly if not posturingly. Where we measure our strengths affording the demonstrably evident and understandable, when needed, as life, as we are, and also personally, as a will, neither infinite nor singular. It can be the resilience in wills and sentient ways as well, and in relinquishment, especially when weakness is at question. When needed, strength has this way of finding us. Speaking on the dynamic and unfortunate of the best and the worst and the why in us is a lifelong and constantly elusive gesture. I will usually aspire to give human the benefit of the doubt, and let its nature apart from the most absurd, and general, speak for itself, as human. So I predicate my interpretation of human from here. With non-simplistic nature and wills mind you, and constantly changing in facet to defining its nature, as a sentient issue in time. It's the elusive denominator that never lets you say you can say everything about it. The perpetual sentience. We are the recipients of circumstance otherwise. The degree to which we are at the mercy of certain malices, begging the question of what nature speaks on behalf of it, when we are eventually the victims of circumstance.